If you control these 6 things, you control your life. We are taught to chase control in all the wrong places. We try to control other people's opinions, the economy, the weather, the past, the future. And we fail, spectacularly and repeatedly. Then we wonder why we feel powerless. The truth is revolutionary. You cannot control life, but you can control the 6 specific levers that determine your experience of life. Master these 6, and you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the architect of your own inner world. Here are the 6 things that, once controlled, hand you the keys to everything. 1. Your attention, the most valuable currency. Where attention goes, energy flows. Most people scatter their attention like loose change, to news alerts, to gossip, to resentment about yesterday, to anxiety about tomorrow. The result? A fragmented, reactive life. Control your attention, and you control your reality. You decide what enters your mind's stage. You can choose to stare at the crack in the ceiling or at the window's light. The disciplined person says, "I will not give my attention to what I cannot change. I will not feed trolls, rehash old wounds, or doom scroll through disaster." When you control attention, you control your peace. And peace is the foundation of a controlled life. 2. Your interpretation of events. Events have no inherent meaning. A promotion can be a trap or a blessing. A breakup can be a failure or a liberation. The difference is entirely your interpretation. Most people let the world assign meaning to them. The controlled person assigns meaning for themselves. When something happens, you have a sacred pause before you label it. Use that pause wisely. Ask, what meaning will serve me here? Not naively, but strategically. Control your interpretation, and you control whether life happens to you or for you. 3. Your responses, not your feelings. Let us be clear. You do not always control your feelings. Anger rises. Fear floods in. Grief arrives uninvited. That is being human. But you always control your response to those feelings. The gap between a feeling and an action is the entire arena of freedom. In that gap lives a choice. Scream or speak. Quit or persist. Retaliate or walk away. The out-of-control person closes that gap instantly. The controlled person stretches it wide. Train yourself to pause. Breathe. Then choose. Control your responses, and no external provocation can force you into behavior you will regret. 4. Your standards, what you tolerate. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. If you tolerate disrespect, you will receive disrespect. If you tolerate chaos, chaos will become your neighbor. Controlling your life means raising your standards ruthlessly. Decide, in writing, what you will no longer accept, from yourself first, then from others. A standard is not a wish. It is a boundary with teeth. I do not engage with people who lie. I do not skip my morning routine. I leave rooms where I am not valued. When you control your standards, you stop being a victim of other people's low behavior. You filter your world. 5. Your inputs, what enters your mind. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, the 5 accounts you follow, the 5 shows you watch before bed. Garbage in, garbage out. This is not metaphor. It is neurology. Control your inputs with the vigilance of a border guard. Unfollow the outrage merchants. Leave the group chat that drains you. Stop consuming news before sleep. Curate your information diet like a patient recovering from poison, because you are. When you control your inputs, you control the raw material your brain uses to build your reality. Starve the negative. Feed the constructive. 6. Your definition of success. The internal scorecard. Finally, the deepest lever. Most people hand their happiness to external scorecards. Money, likes, titles, applause. Those things are controlled by strangers. Therefore, those people are slaves. The person who controls their life uses an internal scorecard. They define success on their own terms. Perhaps success means integrity, not wealth. Perhaps it means presence, not productivity. Perhaps it means growth, not arrival. When your success depends only on you, no market crash, no insult, no rejection can touch your sense of worth. You have taken the ultimate control, the power to declare yourself enough. Conclusion. These 6 things: attention, interpretation, responses, standards, inputs, and your definition of success are entirely within your grasp. They require no permission, no luck, no favorable conditions. They require only awareness and repetition. The person who controls these 6 does not control the universe. They still get sick. They still lose people. They still face storms. But they are never victimized by those storms. They stand in the center of their own life, calm and sovereign, because they have learned the ancient secret. You cannot control the wind,